and they won't play. The Canon won't play. In the JVC.
Please enter your password, then press pound. You have 14 new voice messages.
14.
To listen to your messages, press 1. To send a message, press 2. First voice message.
Hey, Glendora, Lynn Hartford here. I never did call Bill Putnam. They're rerunning a lot of my TV shows, strangely enough. Their Second Opinion is rerunning, and one of my country shows for way back in the day. My daughter in Colorado actually took some screenshots and a little video. And I just now got your voicemail because I never used that phone number. From now on, just use this phone number, 760-717-1313. That's 760-717-1313. And my email address is lynnharpermail@gmail.com. lynnharpermail@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Love you, dear. Bye.
I'm going to save that one.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message, press 8. To save it, press 9. To hear more options, press message saved. Next message. Hi, Glendora. It's Leslie at TNTV. I got your message and I received your envelope today. So yes, the paperwork is fine, and I submitted 8 shows for you that we had. So that will last you quite a while. Okay? Thank you. Have a great day.
Leslie Johnson, Chicago Public Access TV.
To erase this message, press 7. To send a
Did
reply
you get it,
message,
folks?
press 8.
Can we erase it?
To save it, press 9. Message erased. Next message. It said to do that.
Sounds like the Moonies. I think it's a misdial.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message, message erased.
3 out of 14.
Next message. Hi, Glendora. This is Barb. Calling to say hello. And I love you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Barbara Mooney, the miracle woman who died and is now
To
alive.
erase this message, press 7. Message erased. Next message. Good morning, Glendora. It's Debbie Holden calling. I just wanted to thank you so much for yesterday. I really had a good time chatting with you. And I was just curious where that was going to be and when it was going to be. Like if it was going to be on a chat with Glendora online and, or if it was going to be on the public access, because I wanted to watch it. I kind of made a mistake when I said I was preaching to the choir, because what I meant to say was, and I think I said that, I was speaking to myself as much as I was speaking to them. But preaching to the choir means you're telling them something they know already, and I don't know if they knew that. But anyway, I wanted to thank you for that. And I also wanted to say I'm going this morning, like right now, I'm on my way to that school that has all the boxes. So I know you asked for yesterday, but I didn't know if you had any idea of how many you might need in the future and if I should take a couple more while I was there. I'm going to be there tomorrow as well, so it's not imperative that you tell me today, but if you wanted, 4, I could take 2 today and 2 tomorrow. But Anyway, so if you get this message and you want to give me a jingle back, that'd be awesome. If I'm teaching, obviously I won't be able to talk to you, but, you know, you can leave a message. So, anyway, I hope you're well. I wanted to just again thank you for yesterday. So, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Debbie Holden.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message, press 8. To save it, press... Message erased. Next message. Hi, Glendora. It's Sue. I appreciate you calling to see if I needed anything at Walmart, but I'm all set. But I did want to remind you perhaps this would be a good time to pick up the Scotch tape refills that you need, as well as those 9x12 envelopes. Okay? I will call you in the morning to see what you need at the store. Okay, bye-bye.
Sue Casey,
End of
neighbor,
message.
helping me with
To
grocery
erase this
shopping.
message, press 7. To send a reply message, press 8. To save it, press 9. To hear more, to listen to your messages, press 1.
No.
To send a message, press 2. To change your personal options, press 4. To disconnect, press star.
Now I gotta do it all over again. You can't see these
To
numbers.
listen to your messages, press 1. To send a message, press... To listen to your voice messages, press 2. To listen to the message... First voice message. Hi, Glendora. It's Sue. I appreciate you calling to see if I needed anything at Walmart, but I'm all set. But I did want to remind you perhaps this would be a good time to pick up the Scotch tape refills that you need, as well as those
Scotch tape
9x12
and 9x12.
envelopes. Okay? I will call you in the morning to see what you need at the store. Okay, bye-bye. End of message.
We gave her 2 checks for each for $50. Now why did you hang up? Okay, start over. I think we got 5 done, haven't we, out of 14? Okay, clear the screen, start over. Hung up. Try again. Start over again. Hang up again, whatever that means. 1 call voice. Operate it myself. It won't come on. Right in front of you. I did something wrong and I bothered the phone and it won't work.
Please enter your password, then press pound. You have 9 new voice messages.
9 out of 14.
You have 1 saved voice message. To listen to your messages, press 1. To first voice message. Hi, Glendora. It's Sue. I appreciate you calling to see if I need... Message erased. Next message.
Hey,
Hi, Glendora. This is Tammy. My email address is tsmith4@uvm.edu. So it's TSMITH and the number 4, tsmith4@uvm.edu. But Glendora, you must have my email because this morning I received 2 PDFs, a certificate for a chat with Glendora and a list of the radio stations, the television stations that carried your show. So you must have my email address. And I've also responded to you. I sent a messenger on your Facebook page. So I look forward to talking to you or emailing back and forth. I'm still at work, so I'm headed into a meeting this afternoon, but call me back or email me to that address. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you very much, Glendora. Bye.
Tammy Smith,
End of message.
University
To
of
erase this
Vermont.
message, press 7. To send a reply message, press 8. To save it, press 9. Message erased.
How we doing?
Next message.
Hi, Glendora. We're trying to put your phone card on your phone to get it going. We added the phone card, but the phone is not getting calls right now. It goes right to voicemail. I hope we can get this fixed. Bye.
We resolved it with the help of Walmart and the help of Straight Talk.
To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message, press 8. Message erased. Next message. Hi, Glendora. It's Sue. It's 9:30 Thursday morning. I'm just about to get in the shower, but if you could please call me back and let me know what he is in store today, that would be great. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
I missed all of those. She had to come in person, but it's a good thing she
End
did.
of message.
Because as I said,
To
she
erase
got
this
2
message,
checks,
press 7.
$50 each for alpha pregnancy.
To save it, press 9. To hear more options, press 0. To erase this message erased. Next message.
Hi, Glendora. This is Mark. Give me a ring when you get a chance. Bye-bye.
Message erased. Next message.
Yeah, Glendora, Suzanne, I just wanted to give you a call. I thought about you many times this week and didn't get to call, of course, doing this and that and trying to keep up with everything here. So we had the lawyer too, and we had to do a lot of things with that, So anyway, when you get a chance, give me a call. I'm sort of in and out, so, I don't always take the phone with me. I'm not with the modern age, I guess. Okay. Anyway, you get a chance, give me a call. I hope all is well. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
We got the idea. Give her a
End
call.
of message. To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message erased. Next message.
Lenny, it's John, and I'll call you back later. Bye.
John Erskine, my sister's son.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message erased. Next message.
Hello, good evening. I'm calling from Kansas City Cable Company for Miss Glendora. Calling regarding a chat with Glendora, episode title 11588. The DVD doesn't ingest into our system. I can't even get it to load. So I wanted to know if we can receive another copy from you. That is episode 11588. We need another copy of that program. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please give us a call. 312-738-2845. Again, 312-738-2845. Thank you.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message, press 8. To save it, press 9. To hear more options, press 0. To replay this message, press 4.
Hello, good evening. I'm calling from Kansas City Cable Company for Miss Glendora. Calling regarding a chat with Glendora, episode title 11588. The DVD doesn't injecting to my system. I can't even get it to load. So I wanted to know if we can receive another copy from you. That is episode 11588. We need another copy of that program. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please give us a call. 312-738-2845. Again, 312-738-2845. Thank you.
Chicago Public Access TV.
To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message, message erased. Next message.
I'm calling he's correct, yes, and I was preserving that for him. And please take those conkers off of the doorknobs with the keys inside and throw away the keys because we have all the locks. Where he's stuck on.
Message erased. End of new messages. First saved voice message.
Hey, Glendora, we have Hartford here. I never did call Bill Putnam. They're rerunning a lot of my TV shows, strangely enough. A Second Opinion is rerunning, and one of my country shows.
Message saved. End of messages. To listen to your messages, press 1. To send a message, press 2. To change your personal...
Woo! Why the pileup? Well, it's normal. There's 3 or 4 calls a day. And I was tied up with doing a chat with Glendora work. The emails, the in-mail, the United States Postal Mail, all of those details of running the Glendora Public Access Television Network of 67 stations. But in addition to that, we made a mistake, Tom and I, when we filled up the Straight Talk. It got a $30 card instead of a $45 card. A $45 card is unlimited calls. $30 card was limited calls, and it ran out. Yet, Straight Talk had us down not to run out until November 11th. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, but because of that, we lost the mobile network. There wasn't any time to call, so that's what the mess is. All right, now we have to leave a joke. All right, let's look up a joke. Why don't you just tell them a joke? Well, because the jokes are in order so that they won't be repeated. Lead on, O King eternal, the day of joy has come. Henceforth and fields of effort, we'll do everything we can. Through days of preparation, thy strength has made us pure. And now, O King eternal, we sing this happy song. This is Friday. Okay. Let's tell them the joke about the barber. Whom called the people who telephone a joke.
Please enter your password, then press pound. You have 1 saved voice message. To listen to your messages, press
It's
1.
better than 14.
To send a message, press 2. To change your personal options, to turn message waiting indicator on or off, press 1. To change administrative options, greetings. To change to select a standard greeting with your telephone number, press 1. Your greeting has been recorded as you have pressed an incorrect key. If you are satisfied with your greeting, press pound. If you would like to re-record, please press star. Replay at the tone. Record your greeting at the end of the command.
No, we lost audio.
Previous personal greeting is made. Personal. To listen to your messages, press 1.
Hang on. Do you get tired of this? Well, you mustn't. You have to remember the miracle and all the wondrous work that our brothers and sisters did making this. Start over again. I just think it stopped working. Okay.
Please enter your password, then press pound.
No, it came back to life.
You have 1. Saved voice message. To listen to your messages, press 1. To send personal option. To turn a message waiting indicator on, greetings. To change to select a standard greeting. Your greeting has been recorded at the tone. Record your greeting. At the end of your greeting, press pound.
Hi folks, it's Glendora. The barber said to his customer, "Where are you going for your vacation?" And the customer says, "I'm going to Rome." And the barber says, "You won't like Rome. The beds are hard, the food's no good, and you'll never get to see the Pope." The young man was disheartened, but he decided to go anywhere. When he got back, the barber says, "Where did you go on your vacation?" And the young man said, "I went to Rome. The beds were comfortable, the food was delicious, and I did get to see the Pope." The barber said, "You got to see the Pope? What did he say to you?" And the young man says, "Well, he pat me on the head 3 times, and then he said, 'Where did you get that haircut?'"
If you are satisfied with your greeting, press pound. Your greeting has been recorded as
I told his Glendora. The barber said to his customer, "Where are you going for your vacation?" And the customer says,
Okay, we made it through 14 calls. Call in. Thank you, telephone. You work very hard. Don't put black on black or you will knock it on the floor. We're on our 4th glass of water today. Okay, let's turn off the camcorder and let's return all those calls. So in mail tomorrow, Saturday, send Can TV another show. Forget 11588. That's a pretty old show. We're up to 11688. That's 100 shows behind. Maybe she's reading the 5 as a 6. Or she's reading the 6 as a 5. And Adam was sitting on a park bench, and Adam, A-T-O-M, and he looked dejected, and a man came along and he said, "You look dejected, what's the matter?" And the Adam said, "I'm not an atom any longer, I lost an electron. I'm an ion." And the man said, "Are you sure?" And the Adam says, "I'm positive." Good morning, dear friends of many, many years. What did you do yesterday? Are you pleased with what you did yesterday? Did anybody say anything good about you? Did anybody give you any compliments? Did you move the universe forward? No self, no ego, just helping others. The way Sue Casey does, the way Pat Nichols does, and the way Sandy Blakeman does, and the way Maxine does. Well, I left you yesterday with the Glendora Care and Share. And after I finish this, it's your turn. It was a very interesting day, a very constructive day yesterday. Okay, so it starts out with laying the foundation of the day, getting up and getting washed and getting dressed, and making the bed and tidying the house and taking care of .com cat, and taking out the recycle and pouring spring water, and cleaning the litter pan. That's the foundation of the day. Now you're all set and strong, ready to help others. So the first thing is the joy log. You fill out the record of yesterday and the joys thereof, and anything that you heard from up above to pass on to each other. And anything bad that happened, and all the good things that happen, you make a note of those and you cherish them. You let them mulch. That's God time. The joy log, God meditate, hymn and prayer. What is the hymn today? In Christ there is no east or west, in him no north or south, but one great fellowship of love throughout the whole wide earth. Robert Schuller used to start his service with that magnificent 100-voice chorus, choir, and that magnificent 50-piece orchestra. God bless him. He brought it to the highest that I've ever seen. And it toppled money. Money, they couldn't raise the money to keep it going. It was such a high standard. Greatest TV show, one of the greatest. The Hour of Power. So let's look at that song, as we do all of the Christian songs. And when you look at them in our terms, they become very, very clear. No matter how old they are, no matter how many centuries they go back. Even when they go back to the old Irish hymn, "Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart." But this one is, in Christ there is no east or west. What is Christ? As we see it, Christ is helping others. And this concept of seeing God as helping others and seeing Christ as helping others is really advancing Christianity. But Christianity, Muslim, Hebrew, all those, Buddha, they're really all one. So what is it advancing? It's advancing our helping the universe go and grow. Is that so, .com cat? Why, she got so much attention this morning. we put hydrogen peroxide in her ear, and then she's scrambling up until that point, and then you put the hydrogen peroxide in the ear, and it cleanses, and it relieves the itch, and she'll sit so quietly, waiting for that to work. And we really put in a lot, because my ear was itching last night, just before bedtime, and I put in a dropper full of hydrogen peroxide and just waited for it to work and scratch and cleanse. Itch is gone. Total relief. So that's where Christianity is going when we realize that Christ is helping others. In helping others, there is no east or west, no north or south, but one great fellowship of love throughout the whole wide earth. You see how that works? And so that's what really a chat with Glendora is, pretty much. It's a matter of semantics. It's making us see that what religion is all about is helping others. And it solves all of the differences. Isn't that great? So after we made the video with you yesterday, and after the looking at God, meditate Him in prayer, listen. Your conscience is telling you what to do with the day that you have been given. Actually, that we've all been given together. Your conscience, and it's all one conscience, is telling you what to do with the day that we've all been given together. You listen and you list it. And the first thing is to exercise the body. Calisthenics. After that, $100 to the American Vegan Society, donation. After that, $50 to Friends of Animals, Alice Harrington, donation. Do not eat. Fast until noon. And this has been true now for 3 weeks. And it's good and it's easy. And I recommend it. And remind yourself that you're starting the saintly eating. You're eating only 4 things. Fresh fruit, vegetable or salad, hot cereal, nut fruit shake, pineapple, oats, cashew, and banana, and then meat and potatoes, vegan meat and potatoes. Remind yourself. And write a letter to Dr. Enid Bray, who is the director of Our Piece of the Pie, which is an organization that helps youth get started. The example was a young woman who wanted to be a nurse, but she couldn't get through high school. So they gave her an education, a high school education on terms that she could learn. And she was able to go to nursing school and become a nurse and realize her dream. Send to Bergman The Glories of a Chat with Glendora. That is a 4-page email, but sometimes it has to be physical mail because he had trouble with his email and he doesn't use it. So you send him these 4 pages. And it's a certificate of appreciation for the people and the companies and the manufacturers and the TV systems and the governments for making public access TV a law, and for Glendora for enforcing it. For a chat with Glendora for enforcing it. So he deserves a copy of that because he contributed so much to a chat with Glendora's success. To Mary Taylor, a young lady in Main Street in Hartford, who filled out Glendora's application saying that she would sponsor a chat with Glendora on Hartford Public Access TV. How much longer is this going to go on, Gil? How much longer can you stretch this out? Just cablecast the show. That's your job. The public must have access to TV. So send her a copy of Lucent, which tells a lot about a chat with Glendora, and will give everybody everything they need to know about it. And then, to Mary Lawrence, the third part of her lecture here, back in Memorial Day, the last week of May. We've sent in one program for Manchester, Connecticut. We've sent in the second half hour, and this is the third half hour and the final. And Mary, I am so sorry, I don't know what happened to the video of your resounding applause. The people loved what you taught them. Where is that video? Bad job, Glendora. Bad work. We're up now to about noontime, the second glass of water. No, we're up to now about 10 a.m. And the in-mail is done. And it took all morning to do it, folks. But it was done nicely and lovingly and carefully, the way the universe wants things done. And so the good deeds on the porch, make sure there's no litter. There hasn't been any litter on the porch for weeks. Make sure the recycle bin has no non-recycle in it. Put rice on the Time Warner cable box for the birds. Make sure the dumpster's not abused. And post the mail. Why, how many mailings did we do? 6? By the way, Mary Lawrence, while we're doing this, the dub is being made for the third and final half hour for Manchester, Connecticut. Check the laundry room, it looked lovely. Feed the birds, the rice. Grass was a failure. We had such a nice patch of grass there, .com, and it's gone. They must have mowed. Although I didn't hear or see them mow. Eric. Why, that was a failure, .com. We've got to go through the wet grass behind the garage and look for some. Poor .com hasn't had grass for 4 days. And she needs it every day. Sprinkling out, just sprinkling. I think rain is a miracle. It stays up there, it comes down, then it goes up again, and 2 or 3 days later it comes down again. Rain is a miracle, along with the electromagnetism of the earth, along with the spin of the earth, along with the earth's travel around the sun, and the earth is getting to the point of being the farthest from the sun, and you know what that is. Long days, long nights in November. Now, we're up to lunchtime. Sue's grandmother says lunch is at noon, and that's all there is to it. However, it was noon 20, and I took the pork rounds, which are called tender bits, and they are very tender, very tasty. They're made of grain. I took the vegetarian pork, and they look like little tiny flying saucers. And they come in their own sauce, so they are wet, and a pie plate full of breadcrumbs, flavored Italian, and a pot of vegetable oil. I bring the vegetable oil to a boil, roll the vegetarian pork rounds in the breadcrumbs, get them all covered with breadcrumbs, drop them in, and make sure that that fat is hot enough to cook them. And vegan maize, which is vegan, substitute for mayonnaise. I don't think you can really tell the difference. And mix the vegan maize with some sweet relish, and that was your tartar sauce. Well, I'm telling you, you would have loved them. And they were so good, I ate 5, cooked 5 more, and ate 10. That'll be 10 altogether. Cooked 5 more, 15. Cooked 5 more. I think I ate 20 of them. And by that time, I couldn't eat anything else, except a touch of vegan ice cream. So delicious. Caramel. Do you get tired after you eat lunch in the daytime? Do you get sleepy? Well, I fell asleep right here at the desk. I woke up in 10 minutes, really in a stupor with exhaustion. So I said, I'll lie down on the bed for a while, 2 hours. A profound slumber. You never know how tired your body is. The poor body never communicates to you. Can't get through to you how tired you are and how fatigued you are. Woke up full of energy, went over to the telephone, found out we had 14 in-calls, 14 messages on the telephone. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, they had to be recorded as a matter of record to you. And then I go over and try to record them, and the SD that is in the Canon camcorder is full. So I have to go get another SD. Well, there was one that has an hour and a half on it. And then I found out that the SD cards that were in the 2 JVC recorders would not talk to me. Card cannot be used. Now this has happened once before, and Austin, I think, said it was because he took the SD card out of the JVC recorder and put it in the Canon recorder, and that confused the SD card. So the SD card wouldn't talk to us anymore. So I think I have 2 SD cards that will not play or record in a JVC. Now what's the solution to that? Will they record in the Canon? Only thing I can think of is wait until this SD card is filled and then unload the 2 SD cards from the Canon onto DVD, erase them, delete them, the information, and put them in the JVCs to see if they'll go into the JVCs. I know you are not hungry. I know I've fed you 5 different portions since 7 o'clock. Okay, you're just doing your water. And you had good sleeps. Are your ears better? Soft kitty cat, soft fur. So can you help me with that problem with the SDs? One extreme solution would be to put those 2 SD cards aside and buy 2 more. I think they used to cost around $30, $25. And that was back when the biggest ones were only 16 gig. But now they're way up to go to 64 and 64. 128 gigs. And I think the price is down to about $12 now. Poor manufacturers, how did they keep up with it? All right, so we did get the 14 telephone calls recorded for you. And then we did 6 more telephone calls to make the first load of telephoning done, 1 to 10. And that was Sandy and Casey and Nichols. So the to-do list said after you do telephone calls 1 to 10, go to the calendars of 2016 and see the joys there. So we made a list of those, the joys of 2016, the first week of October. It's nice to remember and be thankful and appreciate them. The things you did for others and things others did for you, which is all one. And then to the Glendora Vegetarian Club and get the papers ready to pass around to the people and to show you the articles in the Advertiser, the article in the Our Town magazine, and then to write out the log, what happened in the past week on the Glendora Vegetarian Club, and then to write out the stats, the statistics. How many pages? You can say 780, you can call that, round it off to 800, excuse me. How many hours? You can round that off to 800. You can round the number of pages, it's around 680. You can round that off to 700. Okay, 800 hours, 700 pages in the log. And how much money spent? Are you ready for this? This is going to shock you. Just over, here it is, $19,079. So we round that off to $19,000. That's what money has been spent through the Vegetarian Club to help people be vegan, stop this horrible, agonizing cruelty to animals who never did you any harm, and stop this ravaging of this beautiful terrestrial ball, the earth. $19,000. In how many years? 4 years. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 7 months. Then what did the list say? It said you start adding up the expenses by category for the month of September. How much was spent for groceries, how much was spent for non-employee compensation, how much was donations received, how much was gifts, how much was groceries, how much was laundry, ad infinitum. Well, that was a huge job. It was 12 pages of record, and on each page there would be about 25 entries. How many entries is that? Well, it's 300 or 400, isn't it? By this, and stop everything at 7:15. It's pitch black now at 7:15. Stop everything and go feed the birds or the animals. Excuse me a moment. Oh yeah, by now we've got up to 4 glasses of water for the day. That's the third one today. And it's only 9 o'clock. 5 a day is the goal. I hope you do that until your urine runs white. Keep the inside clean. Well, as I approach the table for feeding the animals, a car is parked within 20 feet of it. The headlights are going across the lawn next door, which is beautiful lawn, and the tail lights are going toward the north. And I hear a woman talking very, very loudly. And I believe she's talking to a man, and I believe it's an altercation. I believe it is ego over self. Her ego and his ego. And they have clashed. And this is the second time I've seen this situation here. I would like so much to have them know what you and I know. No ego. No evil. Just helping others. Just self. Just selflessness. I would love to have them know that and have the happiness and the joy that comes from that. So I sat in the chair, resting. It's pitch black. We have a wonderful floodlight though. Thank you, Mr. Autoback and crew. And I got rested and I picked up my empty pot. I came back in and I finished those entries. And by now, it's almost 10 o'clock. And it's time to get ready for bed. Take care of this little cat. Get the bed ready. Take off the clothes. Go to the bathroom. And brush. And what a good night's sleep, even though there was 2 hours of deep slumber from 1:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. Good sleep. Up only once. And then it's not really a full awake. And immediately you start counting the blessings, because every hour you're awake, you got to count 40 blessings. Back to bed and back to sleep until 4:30, when there was urgency to get up and go to the bathroom, and the day started. The foundation of the day being laid, the God time, and talking to you. In Christ there is no east or west, and him no north or south, but one great fellowship of love throughout the whole wide earth. Thank you so much, .com, for relying on all of the papers that I... Could I please have this paper? Here. Look at this nice joy book you could sit on. Look, .com. What a nice, great, big, fat joy book you could sit on. Thank you. And you got your tail in a cup of water. You do not take good care of your tail. She won't drink water out of a bowl. It's got to be out of a cup or a glass. I told you that joke yesterday. What was the epitaph on the tombstone of the hypochondriac? What was the epitaph on the tombstone of the hypochondriac? See? I told you I was sick. The teacher said, Johnny, I think you cheated on the test. I think you looked over at the desk next to you, or you looked ahead to the desk in front of you, and I think you copied what you saw. The question was, who was the first president of the United States? She wrote Washington, and you wrote Washington. The second question was, who was the president during the Civil War? She wrote Lincoln, and you wrote Lincoln. The next question was, who was president during the purchase of the Louisiana Purchase? She wrote, I don't know, and you wrote, me neither. I do not understand my parents, the little boy said. If I'm noisy, they spank me, and if I'm quiet, they take my temperature. The secretary was so assiduous, she proofread the Xerox copies. A man called the hospital, and he said, I'm inquiring as to the condition of James Parsons. Well, Mr. Parsons had a good night's sleep. He's resting comfortably today, and tomorrow we'll think he'll be discharged. Who is calling? James Parsons. The doctor doesn't tell me anything. What's on the list for today? Well, next would be exercise the body. There is no in-mail. We worked so hard on it yesterday, and we did it carefully. It's 9 o'clock, so you must get that last Mary Lawrence DVD disc on its way, because this is Saturday. And do all the good deeds on the porch. Feed the birds. Go get your feet very wet and get some grass for .com. Even if you have to go out to the woods, way out to the trolley trail. Telephone 10. Add up all of the columns, how much was spent for groceries, how much was spent for non-employee compensation, how much was spent for laundry. Add up all the columns, there's about 20 categories. And that will be enough for the end of the week for today. Go to the sync folder. Bring a Happy House 3 log up to date. See if you have any solutions to the things that you should have thought about. Telephone 11 to 20. Go to the computer telephone and answer all of the people's messages there. And record any in-calls for you that came over the computer, over the computer phone. Telephone 21 to 30. Fast until noon. Eat the vegetables and potatoes you didn't have room for and make gravy yesterday. Telephone 31 to 40. Hot cereal, nut fruit shake, and the apples and raisins. Finish the telephoning. And then, if that all happens, and that will be the merging of the daily details that usually take all day with the cycle details that take all week. That would be the merging of doing them in one day, and that was a dream that we had for months. That dream might come true today. Might not. And so the work all done. All the things done that the conscience tells you to do. And then rest. Rest. And all kinds of good things will go through your mind, your heart, your soul, your brain, your thought. And alone and empty it's called. You're in your sanctuary alone, no distractions, no calls. I shouldn't have said distractions, I'm sorry. because that's what we're here for, to take care of distractions. And that's alone and empty, and that's a score of 100, and that's a grade of P. There's a grade higher than A, and that's a P for perfect. P perfect. Feed the animals, twilight, and then go to rest at 7 o'clock to 5. And be on call for anybody who needs help. You think that will happen? In Christ there is no east or west. In him no north or south. But one great fellowship of love, one great fellowship of helping others throughout the whole wide earth.
Saved voice message. To listen to your messages, press 1. To send a message, press 2. To change your personal options, press 4. To disconnect, press star. First voice message.
Hello, my name is Ryan, and I'm calling from KNTV in the Cable Casting Department, calling for Miss Glendora. I'm calling regarding episode 11587. The problem with the program is that it's 13 minutes long, and on the paperwork it shows that it was 29 minutes. So I'm not sure exactly what the problem is with that program, but if you give us a call, we'll try to look into it and see if it should be exactly 13 minutes or 29 minutes. And I called on yesterday regarding number 11588, that we needed a different copy of that one because we couldn't get it to load into the computer. So I'm calling in reference to 11588. We need a new copy of that, a new DVD for that one. And I'm calling regarding 11587 just to see if the program should be 13 minutes because that's how long it turned out to be in our system. Please give us a call back, 312-738-2845. Again, 312-738-2845. Calling from Kansas City in the Cable Casting Department for Ms. Glendora. Thank you.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message, press 8. To save it, press 9. To hear more options. Message erased. End of new messages. First saved voice message.
Hey, Glendora, Lynn Harper here. I never did call Bill Putnam. They're rerunning a lot of my TV shows, strangely enough. Their Second Opinion is rerunning, and one of my country shows from way back in the day. My daughter in Colorado actually took some screenshots and a little video. And I just now got your voice numbers. I never used that phone number. From now on, just use this phone number, 760-717-1313. That's 760-717-1313. And my email address is lynnharpermail@gmail.com. lynnharpermail@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Love you, dear. Bye.
End of message. To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message, press 8. To save it, press 9. To hear more options, press 0. Message erased. End of messages. To listen to your messages, press 1. To send a message, press 2. To change your personal options, press 4. To disconnect, personal option. To turn message waiting indicator on or off, press 1. To change administrative options, press 2. To record greetings, press 3. For pager notification settings, press 4. To exit, press star. Greetings. To change, to select a standard greeting with your telephone number. Your greeting has been recorded as... At the tone, record your greeting. At the end of your greeting, press pound.
Hi folks, the teacher said, Johnny, I think you cheated on the test. I think you copied from the girl sitting in front of you or the girl sitting to your right. The first question was, who was the first president of the United States? She wrote down George Washington, and so did you write down George Washington. And then the second question was, who was the president of the United States during the Civil War? She wrote down Lincoln, and you wrote down Lincoln. The third question was, who was the president of the United States during the Louisiana Purchase? She wrote down, I don't know, and you wrote down, me neither.
If you are satisfied with your greeting, press pound. If you would like to re-record your greeting, press star. Your greeting has been recorded as... Hi folks, the teacher said, Johnny, I think you...
Now folks, that first call was from Chicago, Community Access Network, and that was Ryan. And I called Ryan back and I asked her how many discs she had. She said she had 6, and I said, well, just forget those 2 and go on for your 4 for November. Oh, that was okay for her. Do you want to hear today's joke? I asked. She says, I'm listening. And I told it to her, and it was so good to hear her laugh. Oh, it was so good. And then I talked to Joe before he connected me with Ryan. And I asked Joe if he wanted to hear today's joke. And it was the one about the, may I please try on the navy blue suit in the window. And he just, well, it just made me feel good. And he says, I'm going to go share it with the rest of my crew. Oh, this is wonderful. This is great, what jokes can do for people. To hear them laugh. And Dr. Celestin says it's good for the immune system. Okay, let us proceed now with the first 10 telephone calls of today's Saturday. Well, you just...
I'll help her out. Yeah.
This is the Seventh-day Adventist Church at Kinderhook. And it is the 7th of October. See Abby's pretty dress. What a pretty dress, Abby.
Yeah. Well, all of our prayers. I gotta find my way.
Where's the camera, honey?
How are you, Glendora?
100%.
I'm so glad we thought about coming to get you.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
The teacher said, Johnny, I think you cheated on the test. The first question was, who was the first president of the United States? And the girl in front of you wrote Washington, and you wrote down Washington. The second question was, who was the president during the Civil War? And she wrote down Lincoln, and you wrote down Lincoln. And the third question was, who was president during the Louisiana Purchase? She wrote down, I don't know, and you wrote down, me neither.
Thank you. Each table has some herbs, as you can see. Now we are having a little giveaway at the end. You see these vegetables? I have to give them away. So if you can name, they're all together 4 different herbs. If you can name 3 out of the 4, then you can grab something. Also, I have a type of chili peppers here. If you can tell me what type of chili pepper is, you can take some of that too.
All right.
Okay? So today we have Paul Fitz. He is going to show us how he's making that lovely bread that we're so used to since years and years and years back. Then we have Esther. She's going to show us a no cheese mac and cheese. Then we have Noemi. As we know, sometimes she brings rice rolls. She will explain what those exactly are. And then I'm making a pig cutlet and an eggplant dip, or otherwise called papadanosh. And at the end, when we finish, you can all taste it. Okay? Before we start, let's have our
This is Erica Capusi.
Our Heavenly Father, thank you so much that you blessed us with health and knowledge. Thank you that we can share this knowledge with each other and with our friends. And thank you that what we learn here, we can share it with our other friends and family members. Amen.
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 What's up, Paul?
I didn't ask to be first. I got told about that recently. Anyway, this is the final club. This is a 2-pound loaf of bread. And for quite a while here, I've been bringing this sliced up to the dinner. And so we're going to do all the intermediate steps except baking it. It only takes 4 hours and 10 minutes, and I think you're probably going to go home before. So anyway, what happened is about 20 years ago, my kids came up with an idea for a birthday gift for my wife. And the birthday gift was a bread maker. Up until that time, my wife had been making the bread by hand, and sometimes she had her fingers in the flour and the bread, and the phone would ring. Oh my, what do you do? And,
It is delicious.
But then she had another bread maker. Well, it didn't have quite the same situation. It was a pan with a handle on top. Well, after you stirred it and kneaded it, well, then you could put it in a bread tin and bake it. But this one does everything except put the ingredients in. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to put the ingredients in. So the cover comes up, and out comes the bread pan. Right? So we're going to put the ingredients in the bread pan, just the way that it has it here on the recipe. In the bottom of this bread pan, you see a stirrer, and next to the machine, and the stirrer goes round and round and round and round, and what it does is it mixes it, it kneads it, it lets it rise. And then it knocks it down, it rises again, and then it bakes it. Well, guess what? It doesn't. This stirring only happens in the first part of the making of the loaf. I store my flour in buckets, this big around this high, about 50 pounds at a time. You can get it at Ginsberg's. You can probably get it at Costco or Sam's or something like that. And so I measured out the flour. So you see there are 2 cups.
Hi, my dear friends. It's Sunday morning. It's Glendora Soul to Soul. It used to be Sunday morning communion. Remember that? And now listen, little kitty. You're sitting on all my notes. Couldn't you just, there's like 1,000 places in this happy house where you could sit. Couldn't you sit somewhere else? How about, it won't do any good to try to feed her because I fed her 4 times already since 5 o'clock this morning. How about sitting on Gregory's notebook? He won't be here for 2 weeks. Wouldn't you like to sit on his great big fat notebook? Wouldn't you? You wouldn't think of moving her, would you? Here, Doug, come. Here, honey. Here, this is Gregory's notebook. Oh no, this is a new one. Well, sit on a new one. See, this great big fat heavy notebook. Wouldn't you like that, .com? Wouldn't you sort of just like that? Sit on that and free up this one. Now don't go away angry. You know .com's 14 years old. That's right. This spring she'll be 15. God, soul to soul, Glenn, soul to soul. This, are you ready for your test? Are we ready for our test? As to the week of October the 2nd. This is October the 8th, Sunday, the end of the week, or the beginning of the week. Well, who won? Who won? Did self win? Or did selflessness win? What? Selflessness. Who won? Write down your score. She's gone away. Are you going over on your winter blankets? Who won? Self or selflessness? Ego or self? Ego or self? I found 2 encounters with couples, male and female, and it was all ego. The fight was all over ego. Her ego strong, his ego strong. Wanting the same thing. The control. The dominion. The money. I saw 2 cases like that. Marriage, 17 years. Love turned to hate. Well, I don't hate him. Do you still love him? Well, I think so. But do you love yourself more? Maybe that's it. So who won in your case this week? Ego or self? How did you do on not thinking of ego? How did you do on not thinking of evil? Pure thoughts. No negative, second level, trivial, ugly. Somebody started to tell me about a terrible thing that happened this week in their town. I put Put the phone down in my lap. I don't want it in my head. Very careful what you put in your stomach. Be very careful what you put in your mind. Unless you're there to help and you could help, but no, there wasn't a situation where you could help. Okay. How did you do on oneness and allness? Oneness and allness. And onlyness. That God is only, God is one, God is all, and making goodness and helping others one, all, and only. One, all, and only. Oh yeah, there's evil, you can think about evil, okay. Whether there is or isn't my concern. My concern is to stay away from it. Don't think about it. Don't see it, don't speak it. Don't do it. Don't see it. Did anybody say anything nice about you this week? Did anybody appreciate you this week and say nice things about you? If anybody said anything bad about you, don't think about it. It's not worth thinking about. Did you say anything bad about anybody or to anybody? What's your score on that? 0, I hope. You probably had bad thoughts about people, but they're sort of a reflex. You can't help them, but you stop them as soon as you can. No negative, second level, trivial, or ugly thought. Did you count blessings or rejoices? 40 an hour, every waking hour. Did you? That's a good one. That's a good one. I won't think about it. I won't think about it. I'll think about Tuxedo Cat and what a great home she has. I'll think about what a great home that .com has. I'll think about the great things that Sue Casey did. Sue Casey did a really great thing. The newspaper was this thin, and she went out and went to work, back to work, after retiring. And now the newspaper was this thick when it came in the mailbox. Good for you, Sue Casey. That's power. I really respect that. What good did you do the world this week? What good did you do the world this week? Isn't that a nice one to think about? What's your score on what did you do for the world this week? What's your score? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you give anybody any money? Did you give anybody any money? Did you keep a joy book? A joy log? Did you keep a log of the great things that showered you all week long? Like the Earth's rotation. And the Earth's revolving around the sun. And the rain. And the temperatures. wonderful temperatures this week. No catastrophes. Nobody robbed you. Nobody assaulted you. You didn't fall down and break a bone. Did you keep track of that? No catastrophes? Were you thankful for it? I don't walk well and I don't see well, and it isn't nice for people to look at. But I'm glad I can see, and I'm glad I can walk. Any other no catastrophes? Yes, no weather catastrophes. No war on our land. Did you do anything for animals? Did you think about animals? Did you try to help them? Did you try to send money to the people who are helping animals? Did you feed animals? Did you feed the birds? Did you stop eating animal products? Are you vegan? 1, for what it does for the earth, 2, for what it does for the animals, and 3, for what it does for your health? Did you stop eating or having anything to do with animal products, including honey? Okay, including fur? Including silk? With God we go, to spread the joy of life. We win each day the happiness of love. We count our blessings, we give thanks, we give joy. Stop the cruel. Oh, stop the cruel. Alrighty, on this. Did you drink 5 glasses of water a day? Did you complain? No, don't complain. Don't complain. Find something good about it to say. Don't complain. Find something good about the situation that you can say. Count a blessing. Did you avoid eschew separation? Did you realize that you're not separate, that we are all one? Did you realize that we're all together, working together in joy and advancing and making the universe go and grow and making it evolve, get better and better? Put aside, put away the negative and go forward positively. Did you? Wait until you hear today's Bible passage. Philippians 4:13. St. Paul started a church in Philippi. Then he had to go away to start a church somewhere else. Corinth, Ephesus, Thessalonica. But he had to write back to Philippi to make sure that his people there ran the church the way it should be run. And he wrote them this in what we people turned his letters into chapters and turned it into verses for reference. So we call this one chapter 4 of Philippians, the Epistle Philippians. What is an epistle? An epistle is the life of an apostle. Philippians 4, verse 13. Remember, we see Christ as helping others. We see God as helping others. That gives us something tangible, something that we can relate to, something that we can respond to. We see Christ as helping others. Paul says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. We can do all things through helping others, which strengthens us. Where do we get our strength? We get our strength through service, through helping others. That's where we get our strength. And we get our confidence through helping others. We have the confidence and we have the strength. We can do all things through helping others. I think seeing Christ as helping others and seeing God as helping others, I think that moves Christianity forward. However, there are other ways of looking at God than through Christianity. And these ways are good. These ways are the truth as it's seen around the world. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Where was that now? That's right, Philippians. And what chapter? 2? No, 4. And what verse? I forgot. 12, right? Was it 12? No, 13. Philippians 4:13. In our hymn, my hymn in my collection is 183. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, early in the morning, 5 o'clock for me, our song shall rise to thee. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty. Where do you find your mighty? Where do you find your might? In helping others. And merciful? Be merciful unto all. All. Animals, people, be merciful. Merciful and mighty, God in all persons, blessed Trinity, God, the Christ, and the Holy Spirit, blessed Trinity, holy, 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 though the darkness hide, God. You know what that is? Though selfishness hides the bliss, the greatness, the universe, God, through sinful flesh. Holy, 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 though the darkness hide, God, through the eye of sinful flesh, through the eye of selfishness, you can still see God. Through the eye of sinful flesh, God's glory we can see. The glory of helping others. Only God is holy. That's right. There, and remember, we're all some of God. All of us together. That's what God is. Only God is holy. There is none beside God. Holiness, oneness, and allness. God, perfect in power, in love and purity. Where do you get your power? Through helping others. Where do you get your love? Through helping others. Where do you get your purity? Through helping others. A Chinese tourist wrote back home that the American university is a vast athletic institution where some studies are maintained for the feeble-minded, for the feeble-bodied. The American University is a vast athletic institution where some studies are made for the feeble-bodied, where some studies are maintained for the feeble-bodied. I've decided that the advice I give people is very, very good. They never come back for more. Daddy, don't be so hard on my new boyfriend. He only has one fault. And Daddy says yes, he's unbearable. A woman complained, I haven't slept for days. And her friend says, no, me either. I sleep at night. Teacher, use the word bewitches in a sentence. Boy, you guys go ahead. I'll bewitches in a minute. I think Facebook sometimes is a thing, it's for somebody who hasn't a thing to do to watch somebody who can't do a thing. For somebody who doesn't have a thing to do to watch somebody who can't do a thing. And the Christians say Jesus saves, but the Hebrews say Moses invests. And there's 3 ways men can wear their hair. Parted, unparted, and departed. Well, I think that we are down to the end of the joke collection. I think we have a joke collection of 700. I think we are down to the end, and I think we're about ready to go to the beginning and go through them again. You could be with us for 2 years and hear a joke a day and not hear the same one. So I think now it's time to go through and start. And before we start the new go through, let's think about it. Let's think about it. Where does that bring us? Almost to the end of Glendora Soul to Soul on Sunday morning. Yesterday, 1 to 9 from 5A to about 7A. That's laying the foundation of the day, the housework, the kitty, feeding the kitty and taking care of her litter pan, and the housework and washing the dishes and getting up and getting dressed and getting ready for the day no matter what it's going to bring, the fortitude. And then comes God time, the joy log, writing down the joyful things that happen, keeping a log, a journal, writing down any great thoughts that come from above. Watching and waiting, looking above, filled with His goodness, lost in His love. And then looking over the things that happened yesterday and the blessings to be counted. And then listening to what your conscience tells you to do today and in what order to do it. and then exercising the body, and then putting the jokes up on Facebook, one joke a day, getting up to the porch by 9 a.m. to make sure that all the work you've done on answering letters and the communications and the correspondence, making that get sure that gets into the mail pickup. And thank you, Post Office, for picking up our mail and delivering our mail. Thank you, United States Post Office. Franklin and I have spent, since 1937, $62,000 on postage. It has been well worth it. It's a lot better than walking to California to deliver a message. And then doing the good deeds on the porch, picking up any litter, and there hadn't been any litter on the porch for a long time. Checking the recycle bin to make sure that no non-recycles in there, and checking the dumpster to make sure there's no recycle in there. And just tidying up the laundry room, and that's been very well kept for a week or two now. And then feeding the birds the rice. And then it's so hard to find good grass for .com, but I think we found some behind the garage. And I had to get my feet wet to do that. And then what? Started a telephoning, and I'm way behind. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today, Sunday. But the first 10 calls got done, and the call-ins were returned. Fasted until noon. Didn't make it until 12:20. Made gravy that came from Honest Weight, vegetarian gravy, delicious. And poured it on the mixed vegetables, Italian green beans and carrots and broccoli and lima beans. Finished eating that delectable food and got a telephone call, and it was Gloria from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. We're having a cooking lesson at 2:30 this afternoon. And Maud wants you to come. Maud is the founder. She and her husband is the founder of the church, along with all the other faithful parishioners. Well, how much time do I have? Just a minute. She goes see Maud. Maud says 2:10 at the late. Oh, Maud wants to give you a ride. Gloria says, I would give you a ride, but Maud wants to pick you up. Well, what time? 2:10 at the latest. And here it is, 1:20, 1:25. What do you do like that? You have a day all planned, and it looks like it's going to be a day when you're going to finish all the work, and there will be time to rest and a praise and the universe. And your day is all planned, and that's what you think you really should do. No, it's a call. You have to answer the call. So I said, yes, I would like to go to the cooking class. It's vegetarian, and I have to support that. So, first get dressed up, do the dishes so far, forego your eating that you were looking forward to. Make sure that .com has the 5th or 6th helping. Make sure you take the camcorder. Make sure you have money in your pocket. And then go out and sit down on the front porch and wait for Maud to come in her Fiat. But she didn't come in a Fiat. She came in a Jeep. And we rode to the Seventh-day Church, and everybody presented their recipes. I think there were 5 recipes. Paul, how to make good dark grain bread with sprouts in it and seeds in it for the bread maker, and all the others. Oh, and I asked them if I could tell a joke to start it off, and I think you saw that. That was the best joke that came in this week. It was a new one. and saw those people give their all to good eating, healthful eating, and harmless eating. Harmless eating. So after that, and Helen looks so good. She was near death in the nursing home, but her grand and glorious Gloria rescued her from the nursing home and paid a woman to take care of her all day. And now Helen has blossomed at 87 years old, 88 I guess. And she's come back to life. And she's charming. Oh, this is a grand thing to see your recovery, Helen. So I took her out for a treat, her and her daughter Gloria, and gave Gloria a chance to talk over her problems. There again, we make our own problems. God gives us everything. Everything is here for total happiness. And we have to let ego interfere. And somebody else's ego has to interfere. And so then there's a clash. But it was good to give her an opportunity to talk it over. By 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, total exhaustion. Back to the happy house. And the first thing, you got to make rice, cook the rice for the animals in the morning and in the late afternoon. So that was first. Heatup.com, something more to eat. Get off the dress-up clothes and go to the bathroom and wash your hands and face when you come in from outside, the first thing. And then sit down with .com and be with her while she eats. She doesn't like to eat alone. She was born not eating alone, and she doesn't like it. And by that time, it's bedtime, and made it by 7 o'clock. Deep slumber, arms of Morpheus, until 5 and I think up only once or twice. And faced with a very difficult problem. First of all, do all the chores, laying the groundwork of the day, and doing the God work in the joy book and the counting the blessings of yesterday, making a record of the blessings of yesterday and listening to what to do today. Problem. SD card into the JVC camcorder. No, the JVC camcorder says, I will not talk to that SD card. I will not record on it. I will not make pictures on it. I will not make audio on it. I will have nothing to do with that SD card. Well, now what am I going to do? How can I do Glendora Soul to Soul with you Sunday morning if I don't have an SD card? Solution? Find somebody to make an emergency trip to Walmart to buy an SD card. No, don't do that. Didn't Austin have an SD card over in the drawer where all of the cables are? All the RCA phonos? Didn't he have an SD card over there? Didn't he used to go over to that drawer every time you asked him to make a DVD of the Facebook jokes? Didn't he have an SD card over there? I don't know. Let's go over and look. Pulled out 40 or 50 RCA phono plugs, connectors, and here is a little box. And sure enough, there's the adapter that Austin used, but he never used the SD card. Is that SD card brand new? We'll get out the razor and cut through the plastic and see if it's any good. And out comes the new SD card. Put it in the camcorder, JVC, and JVC says, that's nice. I'll give you a picture, I'll give you audio on that. And that's where we are Now, the resolution. That's the LG Android computer phone. The Wonder Slab. So that's it, folks. And what's to be done today? The telephoning for 6 days. That is priority. There's people who need telephone calls. And there's things to be done on the Glendora Public Access Television network of 67 TV stations. And there's people who need cheering and need help. And need jokes and need hymns. Fast until noon. Have vegetarian meat and potatoes, hot cereal, nut fruit shake, and apple and raisins. And do the good deeds up on the porch and feed the animals. So let's go and do Facebook for Sunday and Monday. Holy, holy, holy. .com never came back. She was really upset with us. She's over on her pile of acrylic blankets, sleeping in luxury. Lord God Almighty, early in the morning our song shall rise to God. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty, God in through all persons, blessed Trinity. Holy, 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 though the darkness hide God, through the eye of sinful flesh, God's glory we can see. Only God is holy, there is none beside God, perfect in power and love and purity. Perfect in power and love and purity. Hey there, dear buddies. How are you? This is the 4th day of October. This is my dear friend, Gregory Washburn, in Poughkeepsie. Gregory, how are you?
Oh, fine. I'm very good, so. Very
Thank
good.
you for doing Glendora Pass It On. These are the things that come to me in the mail, and I want to know if they would be of help to you, and so we're trying it out. Well, I can't read this, Gregory. What is this came in the mail?
This is it's a sales flyer from Albany RV sales,
Oh, okay. I guess I don't want an RV.
and
Right there beside you, honey.
RV sales.
Now, this is interesting. I can see from the big print, it's charter, and they say no contract. What is that all about, Greg?
Contracts. If you have a home and you want to get cable television services, then you call them up and they say that we can give you 2 years for $79 a month for 2 years for the triple play, and you're kind of you have what you have for a certain amount of time. But here they're offering their deal says no contracts and no. Sometimes if you get in a contract and then you want to terminate it early, there's a fee associated with that.
Rip
And
off. That's you, AT&T. That's an awful thing.
That's it. TV, internet, and voice. They have it. $29 a month for 12 months when it's bundled together.
Greg,
And,
what channels do they give you for that $29?
Oh, they're such.
You know, public
that's a
access
good-
has to be on the lowest tier. That's a law.
Well, that's a good question. What do they give you? Well, they have different packages, different packages of channels, and they may give you. I've been in some places where a cable news network, CNN is like the biggest news channel in the country, the world, and some places they'll charge you extra just to get it, and they should have been just a basic channel that they provide to you.
Greg, is it true that CNN is selling out to AT&T?
That I haven't heard about that. That's I don't know about that myself. So, but I know a lot of things. Time Warner was bought by Spectrum now, which is Charter,
Yeah.
which is a big company. That's
My friend.
caused a lot of changes, and normally change can be good, but in the battleground of the cable industry, there's winners and losers every day. So.
Well, good for you, Charter. Month to month, folks. $29.95. Charter, Glendora, Chat with Glendora is on several Charter TV stations. Winston, Willimantic, Newtown, which is 16 different municipalities, going from Hartford to Danbury. Chicopee. And my friend Billy Adrian is the manager of Public Access TV in Worcester. I am reading to you now, or I'm asking Greg to read to you now, from the North American Vegetarian Society. I would like to know, Greg, if you would be so kind as to read this poster to them.
The North American Vegetarian Society in New York, and this month is a World Vegetarian Month, the month of October, and a Vegetarian Awareness Month, and this is from the North American Vegetarian Society, and they're promoting World Vegetarian Day, which was kicked off just a few days ago on October 1st, and every meatless meal can help reduce the risk of major killers such as heart disease, stroke, and cancer, while cutting exposure to foodborne pathogens. provide a viable answer to feeding the world's hungry through more efficient use of grains and other crops, save animals from suffering in factory farm conditions and from the pain and terror of slaughter, conserve vital but limited fresh water. It conserves water, which is a very precious resource, fertile topsoil and other precious resources. It preserves irreplaceable ecosystems such as rainforests and other wildlife habitats. Oh wow, that's something there. Decrease greenhouse gases that are accelerating global warming. Mitigate the ever-expanding environmental pollution of animal agriculture. And they have a free 16-page booklet. You can contact the North American Vegetarian Society for their free 16-page booklet. Vegetarianism answers to the most commonly asked questions. And their website is www.worldvegetarianday.org.
Here's some little piggies. All they want you to do is to love them. They don't want you to brutalize them and force them into cruelty all of their lives. And this little piggy, I'm going to show you, you can see the anxiety. Excuse me, Greg. You can see the anxiety in his poor little mind. He's saying, are you going to hurt me? Are you going to hurt me? What are you going to do to me? You can see it in his little eyes. Greg, tell him what the cake is all about.
The cake is a kind of a special thing we made up there of tutti frutti confection, homemade. It's about as homemade as it's going to get for us today. And as far as convenience goes, and we just whipped up the ingredients, and the recipe calls for eggs. We did not put eggs in it. We put in a egg substitute to replace them, and whipped up the ingredients, poured it in the pan, and put it in the oven and baked it for 35 minutes. And lo and behold, the cake looks pretty good.
It rose beautifully, didn't it?
Yeah, it rose good. So
now, tell them what we used. We used 1.5 teaspoons of egg replacer to 2 tablespoons of water. Come over here, baby. Come over here. To 2 tablespoons of water. That's 1 egg. And we did that 3 times. And what is this egg replacer? It's made out of arrowroot, starch, and tapioca starch. That is your, what do you call it? When it sticks it together.
oh, it's I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
it
holds it
binds
together.
It binds it.
Yeah, that's right. And it does smell delicious.
It's a binder. Yeah.
Too bad this isn't smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
What's this, Greg?
This is
Come here, baby. Come here. Come here.
It's another flyer on the World Vegetarian Day,
Oh.
which was October 1st, and it was established as an annual celebration to promote the joy, compassion, and life-enhancing possibilities of vegetarianism to the general public. Let's see now.
Very good, folks.
It's the Vegetarian Day is a awareness month, is a campaign to prominently advertised in Vegetarian Times and Veg News magazines. Vegetarian Pledge contest, and they're having a contest. If you go for a month with eating no meat, You could be eligible for a prize or drawing for up to $1,000, and they have handouts and posters and things like that. Just promoting a vegetarian eating. Alright, so
This is Our Town magazine and comes out every month, and they are very assiduous as to listing the meetings of the Glendora Vegetarian Club the last Wednesday of every month, and they're very assiduous about telling 5 jokes from the Glendora collection.
our town.
What is this, Greg, please?
Oh, this is the. Oh, this is a savings for a the your pharmacist to get savings on drugs and vitamins at your pharmacy.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
on your saving money on your prescriptions, which today prescriptions cost a lot of money for medication and things like that.
No prescriptions here. Vegan, 89 years old, no doctors and no medicine. And no drugs here, no veterinarians here, because we're all vegan. Isn't that right, .com?
Yeah, this
That's
is
.com cat.
this is
Here is the bank statement.
.com the cat. There's
Would you read to the people the checks that were written and to whom?
what,
And how much?
Sure. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, here's one for what check? A check for $9 written out to the advertiser.
Oh yes, to pay for the ad in the classified to get a home for a kitty, and it didn't work at all.
Oh, it didn't work. So.
No.
Oh, really? Then there's there's one for the $20 written out to the Alpha Care.
Alpha Pregnancy Care. Women who get themselves into trouble by
Pregnancy
choosing
Center.
self over others.
And $20 for them. And then there's one for a compassion over killing in here.
Oh yes,
$100 for
Yes.
that,
for saving animals.
which is for saving animals and things like that. Then there's Sue St. Pierre here for groceries.
Sue St. Pierre.
There's a